Howdy folks, I'm Mighty Mightnerium, majestically manipulating minuscule molecules.
I'm Amber.
And here are more minuscule molecules for us to manipulate. Amber, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any molecules that aren't minuscule?
Not to my knowledge.
Alright, so that seems like an unnecessary quantifier.
You wanted 6 things? And I wanted to loosely tie it in because Liz Meitner was an essential person in the discovery of nuclear fission. And so, element, molecule, it was close enough.
Let's get started. Let's move this ship along.
Yeah.
Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing to Share My Engagement Party with My Non-Engaged Sister? I just got engaged to my partner for years, and my parents said that they would throw us an engagement party. They are paying for everything, but want to make it a shared engagement party for both my sister and me. I have a slight problem with this because my sister isn't actually engaged. She has been dating her boyfriend for 12 years, and he gave her a promise ring shortly after my engagement. We're all in our late 20s, early 30s, so pretty much everyone except for my sister and our parents thinks that this is kind of childish and ridiculous. I have had many conversations with my sister over the years, and they have boiled down to, look, if he wanted to marry you, he would. But she has stayed with him and held out hope. And I suppose that she took the promise ring as a close enough kind of gesture because she is treating it exactly like an engagement ring. My fiance reached out to her boyfriend because he was equally confused and said, are you guys engaged? And he outright said they were not. Nonetheless, my sister is showing the ring to everyone and putting together a wedding planning binder. I feel bad for her, I really do. But she's also a grown woman, and I don't feel like I should have to enable this farce. I have been dealing with don't forget about sister, make sure sister is included my whole life. And I was really hoping that my engagement, if nothing else, would actually be my own. I'd rather just not have an engagement party at all than play along with this weird fantasy. My fiance would rather have a weird party than no party, and my parents are scolding me for being selfish to want to exclude my sister. Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk, and do not let your parents throw you an engagement party. Have something small like a potluck for your nearest friends and whatnot, like if your partner really wants a celebration. But do not let your parents do this because it is a disaster. Their plan, it's important to note too. So in the comments, someone asked about, well, wouldn't the sister's boyfriend point out that they're not engaged? The plan is to not invite him to his own supposed engagement party. So it would be OP, her fiance, and her sister.
Yeah, this sounds like a recipe for disaster. I don't know why they're doing this. It just seems in poor taste. It really does.
And I have a feeling too, like it sounds like they always do this, so it's important to put your foot down now before they start saying, oh, well, we need to make sure your wedding is all about your sister. Like, it seems like they cannot let Opie have any celebration to herself, so I think now is a good time to start setting boundaries with your parents. Don't take their money. I know it's very tempting, but just, you want full control. Have your own little celebration that's affordable, and, yeah, do not be part of their weird charade because it's going to blow up in everyone's face.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Effective Brief 8295 says, well, you and sis boyfriend can skip the event and make it even weirder. Are you really sure that you want to marry your fiance? Truly, he sounds like a tacky jerk to me. And OP replies, I'm pretty sure he just wants to see this in action, in person. Lol. Fuzzy Mom 2005 says, not the jerk, and ask your parents what they're going to say when the guests congratulate them on your sister's engagement and her boyfriend says, we're not engaged. Rinse and repeat when the guests say the same to your sister and her boyfriend. Congrats on your engagement, we're not engaged. This party will just lead to the boyfriend dumping your sister because this is an obvious ploy to pressure the boyfriend into proposing at the party. Your parents and sister are just embarrassing themselves. And OP replies, their honest-to-goodness plan for me, my fiance, and my sister are going to be the guests of honor at the party while her boyfriend stays home. And Miss Lee Sith says, that's going to look like your fiance is marrying both of you, sister with wife style. And OP replies, it sure is gonna look that way. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Beating My Parents to the Chase and Moving Out in the Middle of the Night? I'm an 18-year-old female, and I overheard a conversation with my mom and my dad, a 39-year-old female and a 40-year-old male, about how they're planning to kick me out shortly after my 18th birthday. The way that they were talking about it seemed like they were dead serious, and the way that it was brought up to me multiple times made it seem like they were going to kick me out too. So I decided that I wouldn't give them the chance to kick me out and made plans to stay with my friend Riley, a 17-year-old female, to stay at her place until I graduated and moved into a college dorm or had an apartment of my own. Riley's parents were horrified at the thought that my parents would kick me out the second that I turned 18 and agreed to let me stay at their place as long as I graduated high school. Riley, her parents, and my boyfriend Cole, an 18-year-old male, came after midnight to help me take my belongings to their car and drive me to Riley's house. The parents woke up in the middle of this and asked what was going on. I kind of shrugged and told them that I was moving out before they could kick me out. The parents tried to deny this and attempted to stop me from leaving, but there was nothing that they could do since I'm a legal adult. By the way, I just wasn't going to leave in the middle of the night without a goodbye. I already put a note in the kitchen table where my mom goes first thing in the morning explaining what happened. Right now, I'm at Riley's house in her spare bedroom. I've gotten bombarded with calls from my parents asking me to come back and not tell my grandparents about this. In one text, my mom called me an ungrateful bee for leaving in the middle of the night and that she should have kicked me out sooner. All right, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. I mean, the mom's text especially makes it very clear that they were planning on kicking you out, and I don't know if they wanted to do it on their terms and didn't like not getting that satisfaction, or if it's they think they somehow would have saved face with the grandparents better if they did it on their own terms. I don't know, but either way, you're not responsible for catering to their feelings.
I think this is an odd situation, and I wonder if they were just joking about it and maybe talking loudly enough that the OP would overhear it so that they could make her think that she was going to get kicked out, but they weren't really going to.
Well, but then why would they say the what I should have kicked you out sooner line?
I don't know. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense either way. I'm just saying that it doesn't make sense that they would be this concerned about the grandparents and then also still want to kick OP out. So maybe it's just as a power control thing where they're like, oh, we wanted the power. But then why would they tell OP not to tell their grandparents, right? I don't know. I think that this is a strange situation, and I think it's odd that OP moved out in the middle of the night instead of waiting for a weekend or something like that. I don't know.
Well, maybe they've heard too many Reddit stories about parents waking their kids up on the night on their 18th birthday and throwing them out.
And that could be it. That could be it. I'm not saying that that isn't the case. I just think it's a strange situation. I think that if I were trying to move somebody out of their house, I wouldn't do it at midnight. If I were Riley's parents, I would be like, can we wait until a weekend, please? Not just grab all the stuff. Unless she thought there was an immediate threat that she was going to be kicked out of the house and wanted to make sure that her property wasn't damaged or something. It's hard, right? Because if you feel like you're immediately going to get kicked out and there's no, and it's going to happen tomorrow, then maybe you are going to jump on that. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And 1962, Michael says, not the jerk. If it was one conversation that you overheard, I would say that you overreacted. But since it was several times and no note of sarcasm or joking, you did the right thing. Also, your mom saying that she should have kicked you out sooner is pretty clear. The fact that they don't want your grandparents to know also shows that they know that they're in the wrong. You didn't mention any reason that they would want to kick you out. Have you been in trouble? Do they dislike your boyfriend? Bad grades? And OP replies, I remember from a few conversations, too unrelated to kicking me out, about my mom wanting office space, and I haven't been in big trouble, getting in trouble with the law. Grades are pretty good, and they've so far expressed approval about Cole. Alright folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Why did the invisible monster look in the mirror?
Well, because there was a person standing in front of the mirror and they wanted to eat them.
They wanted to make sure they still weren't there.
Oh, I mean that too, I guess. And I have Earl Grey. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Wednesday, Hump Day, Friday, Junior's Eve. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please, have it in the form of a invite to an engagement party.
You are cordially invited to the engagement of our daughter, Sarah, and her fiance, Joe, and also to the promise ring sort of engagement, except not, of our daughter, Kate, and her boyfriend's not there because he doesn't believe they're engaged, but we're celebrating everyone anyway.
That would be a strange invite. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye!